Hello, hello, hello. All right. Make sure I'm tuned in. Let Facebook do its thing. We'll be starting shortly. Um, it is Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. And you probably do got a job. And you probably do got to do, unlike Smokey said, in Friday. All right, sorry, I'm like trying to look to see, make sure everything is posted up. I'm excited. Well, I've been excited about this whole week's chat. We got a lot of great feedback. People have been sharing the video, and you know, we've been really diving in with the common struggles, and some people got like some aha, some light bulbs went off. Um, Hold on, got some light bulbs to go off, and they really got some revelations. So I'm excited about that. And today I'm going to be talking about marketing and branding your business. As many people struggle with that. That's one of the first things. And the reason why I let this be like the last to talk about, because all the things I've been talking about this week is what you need to work on before. So I'm gonna let people tune in, those who are on, share this post with those, because I'm sure a lot of people are gonna enjoy these nuggets. I would recommend you have somewhere where you can jot down some notes, because I'm gonna give you some tools and things like that that will be helpful for you to use. And just some good nuggets that you may get. So go ahead, start sharing this with your friends. We'll be starting shortly. Share with your other entrepreneur friends that want to build and brand their business. Talking about branding, marketing, some tools and things like that. Columbus in the house. What's up? Hey, Keith. Yes, it's Friday. Hi, Miss Thrive. I love that. Yes. I got to make sure I start the video off with introducing myself. So, we're going to go ahead and dive in and get started with this, because like I said, I like to keep this short. I like to jump in, jump out, leave you with some nuggets, things to make you go, and also gut check you into your business. So, for those who do and do not know me, I'm Lauren L.C. Thriver. I am a thriving entrepreneur. I've been entrepreneur for officially nonstop. I started about 12 years ago, but I've been officially nonstop for about 6-7 years. I am a business coach and also a certified fitness trainer. I run a fitness training business as well as a business coaching business, which is why I'm here and why you guys are seeing me here online, because I'm here to help others to thrive and prosper in their business. I have a coaching business service where I help, particularly mostly women are those who I work with, but I help women to be able to expand and exceed, take leaping bounds that they never thought they could take in their business, in their personal life, as well as to create wealth. So I help them to build their business, to avoid burnout, and without sacrificing time with their family. I mostly particularly help those with a home-based business, or help them to start a home-based business. Or I have those who have like hair business. They do hair and things like that. But it is something that they, need to do, marketing, internet marketing and things like that. So I teach them how to use, the internet to be able to excel and brand in their business, as well as personal development coaching and things like that. So that's my little spiel. And I'm going to go ahead and dive into what's today. But before I go ahead, for those those who we're getting some freezing. Okay, I think I'm on. Am I doing the robot? No? Am I doing the robot? If you guys can see me and hear me, please type in the chat. Please let me know. Hopefully I'm going. I'm going to keep going. But if you guys can hear me, I'm not freezing, everything's going good, let me know. But I am going to talk about branding and marketing. So as we've been talking about for this week's series or whatever, we've been particularly talking about struggles in your business. As I said earlier this week, I did a poll, and a lot of entrepreneurs, I've asked them what do they particularly struggle with in their business, and what's their number one struggle that they're struggling in their business as entrepreneurs. So this week's topic, I picked a few to highlight and talk on. Definitely, if you want me to go further in on a few other details that I might have not talked about this week, let me know and I can bring this topic back up. But the things I've talked about this week is time management. I talked about dealing with people who don't have the mindset, working with those who don't understand your business, those who put down your business, those who are incompliant, and things like that. I talked about this week where you have the struggles with your clients or customers. I talked about, what else I talked about this week? I talked about the common struggles of people not getting enough support from friends and family. I also talked about this week, this week just flew by. I'm trying to remember. I talked about having capital, getting enough cash flow. That was a very small segment, so I didn't make the whole particular show about that. I talked about what else we talked about? The common struggles as far as dealing with support, time management. I believe that's it. My mind is like kind of going over, but those are the particular things I talked about. I know, fear of rejection. There we go. I talked about that. That was a big one because I know many of you are having, issues with fear of rejection or anything like that with your business. Overcoming, developing people skills, because that was one that I talked about there. So what I'm talking about, which a lot of people say that they struggle with, is marketing, branding, getting their product out there, getting more clients and things like that, learning about social media marketing and things like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today and share. Like I said, continue to share this live feed, give some thumbs and hearts up. Please definitely type in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we got Columbus, Ohio in the house. Who else is rocking in the house? So I'm going to go ahead and continue and discuss about that. So branding and marketing is really important. But the reason why I left this as the last topic is because a lot of times, to the extent of, really getting out there and branding and marketing, is levels to this. They say that about everything. There is levels to this. So I left this last because there's a lot of things that you need to work on as far as like the fear of rejection, learning to work with people that you feel like you need. Okay, good. I think if I'm freezing, just definitely type in the chat and let me know. But fear of rejection, working with others in that way. So those are areas that you have to personally work on yourself and cover that ground. So I look at business as if it's like building a house, right? So I'm not an architect, but I can pretty much guess when they're building a house, what do you have first? What is that bottom base that you have to have first? I'll give you a hint. It starts with the F. Type in the chat and let me know what that bottom base of what you need when building a business, but also, like I said, with building a house, what is that bottom base that you need when you're building something? I'm going to give y'all a hint and give y'all about 30 seconds to guess. I'll give you a hint. It starts with the F. See who's. Any guess? Any guess? Am I stumping some people? Foundation is really important to build a foundation when building anything, building a house, building your business, building you as a person. That foundation, yes, keep the foundation. Building that is really important because, that's like the core, the bottom base. You need a good, solid foundation when it comes to building your business, period. And like I said, building anything, because if you have a solid, sound foundation, and when you really have something that you can really ground on, then it's a lot less likely for the house to get blown down. And if it do, you might have some doors open, storms come. So look at the analogy that I'm giving you guys about, a house, right? So we're looking at a house, but we're really talking about us as an individual, as business owners and entrepreneurs, and our business, right? So if we set that foundation, which is what I've been talking about all week, as far as working on your personal growth and development, how you proceed struggles and challenges, how you work with objections. That was another thing I talked about. Fear of rejection, all those things that it takes to even start being resilient enough to build a business. That's your foundation. So if you build that foundation, right, and then you start building up your house, there are times that you're going to have some really bad storms, that a tree may come knock down and take the roof off. There's times where your door may fall off the hinges. There's times where, a kid may be playing in your front door, play baseball, and crack the window. That roof being knocked down could be, you got audited or whatever the case may be. That door falling off the hinges can be, things that happen in your personal life that's a little slowly affecting your business or things like that. The analogy I gave with the kid that cracked the window, that could be, your family and your friends trying to tear you down in your business. But guess what? If the whole house kind of starts to deteriorate and break down, you still have a foundation. So when it comes to business or anything like that, let's take, for instance, we have an entrepreneur who let's take an entrepreneur who built a business in the past, right? It didn't go well, and they quit, right? They quit. That's like the analogy I'm giving where the house got swept, a tornado came and the house got swept away, right? So at the end of the day, you still have that core foundation, meaning you. So you quit your business, you didn't believe in yourself or anything like that, and now you're just back to square one or whatever, you got a job. You still have you. A lot of the things that you worked on in your experience and things like that is you. So if you continue to work on you, you can keep building another new house, build multiple houses, because you have that full core foundation. I'm making sense here. If this is making sense, definitely type in the chat if you guys are feeling me and you're with me on this. Okay. So that's why I really covered that particular area. It's important for you to build your foundation first so we can build up the house. And building the house covers things as far as, once you got a house, now you got to get the house out there and share, to get some buyers. I'm not real familiar with real estate, but, you got to get your broker, you got to get your homeowners and all those things to even share that this house is on the market. That's you now needing to brand and market your business. Is this making sense? Let me know. So now that we got our house, we build our foundation, we build our house, we got a nice bomb house, with marble indoors and all this good stuff. You got your products. Your products is what's in the inside of this house, right? Whatever your product or service, right? So now it's time to market and brand. One of the first things I say is to find exactly who it is that you want to speak to buy this house. Meaning, your product, your brand, your service, or whatever it is, okay? Your business. So whether your clientele, your customer, or whoever it is that you particularly work with. So now you need to get out there and let people know. So, there's many ways of how you can brand and market, right? But the first thing, and the reason why I say you want to know specifically who you're talking to, and I kind of gave a little bit tease of this yesterday on my live, you want to get very specific of who it is that you want to speak to. And the reason why it's called finding your niche. And the reason why you say that is because when you're marketing and branding, you need to speak to one specific person as if you're talking to your best friend right in front of you, and you're just having the same conversation. And then whoever else hears you can buy into the service. Let's take McDonald's, for instance, right? I don't even eat McDonald's anymore. I can't remember the last time, but I just want to use them just because, they bring in billions of dollars. Their marketing and branding is all over, TV and everything like that. And they do every way possible to try to ruin your life. Don't eat it. Okay. So as it comes to marketing, they're really good at what they're doing, right? So what do they do? Like I said, you go everywhere. You go on a train. Well, I'm here in New York, so you go on a train. You see those in the summertime, like their branding and stuff change. Their marketing changes over time. In the summertime, you see these big old billboards. It's hot, so they got the smoothie frappe, the cold iced coffee, like all these things because it's hot and it's making you want to get that. So the next time you see a McDonald's, you're gonna get it. And guess what? McDonald's is red. Red is a color where it psychologically triggers hunger. So then that gets you to do that. So they did a lot of research to get you to, buy into them. They give us levels. They give you stages and levels where you keep seeing the ad. They keep advertising the food is nice and big. And then, like I said, to get you want it. And the moment you see it or you see that red sign in the arch, I hope I don't make nobody hungry and go to McDonald's. I'm not advertising McDonald's, but I'm just saying for branding because they're really good with it. And you need to look at how, you need to brand your business and your service just like these big businesses do, Walmart, McDonald's, etc. So they start building that way. So what did they do in order to get so good with this marketing? Research. They found their niche and their research. So when McDonald's, they initially first wanted to talk to their marketing, like specifically, was to parents, like moms. Like, remember back in the day, they're not even there anymore, but back in the day when I grew up, there was Ronald McDonald's and his crew. They always had like the Happy Meal, and that's what was showing up on TV a lot. Now it's becoming a lot more adults because now adults are eating there, but they were branding the initial things that they used to market and branding was a lot of their kids meals, Happy Meals, and stuff like that. They had the big playground and all that stuff inside McDonald's. So the kids are not going to buy, that product. They don't have the money. So who do they have to talk to? The mom. And the reason why they just picked the mom, parents, but the reason why they were specifically marketing to the mom, and the specific mom that they were talking to is a busy mom that don't have time, may not make that much money, and they're not willing to cook. They may have a bunch of kids, and they need a quick dollar meal. That's who they really was specifically talking to. So all their marketing was branding to what this single mom with children with, little money who don't want to cook or need a quick meal. They really was targeting to her. But guess what? Other people came in and talked about it, but their marketing was really specific with that. So what did they do? They had Happy Meals, stuff showing for $1. So you need to get very specific with that. So the first thing that you need to do, write this down, is to find your niche. Ask yourself this question. Who am I specifically talking to, and who is my ideal customer client or client? Once you figure that out and you do your research, now you need to go and do some research on how does this one person particularly buy? What other things that they like and service? You know what I mean? Because let's say, for instance, all right, so let's say, for instance, I'm going to let me stick with the men this time, right? So I keep talking about women, mom stuff, right? So say, for instance, I have, let me think. I can't even think like man. So let's say I have, let's talk about fitness or whatever, right? So I have something that will enhance, that. No, that's too broad. So, okay, let's say if I'm doing something, I'm sorry, I have to go back to moms because this is really easy to guess. And the reason why is because I know who I'm specifically talking to and who I'm branding and who I help and who most of my clients are women who have a home-based business or something, right? So, or, particularly want to work from home and spend time with their family. So like, let's say, I'm branding, a particular product or service, selling hair products or something, right? And I'm selling this from home. Like I have like, skincare and hair products or whatever the case may be. And I want to, build it and brand it like, or whatever the case may be for women that may have particular skin issues and stuff like that, right? And have scalp issues. So what am I going to talk about? I need to find out what are they experiencing and things like that. So when you go and look for your niche, it don't matter what it is. I'm just kind of giving you guys scenarios so you can get the idea. But whatever it is, you need to figure out and start putting yourself in a place of that client. What is it that they're looking for? So if you're in real estate or whatever, and you're looking for homeowners, you want to look and research a lot of the things that someone who's looking to buy a home looks for. If you are, if you are, like I said, into skincare things, you need to start looking and researching to other skincare products. If you have a network marketing business that services into one niche, you need to start looking and seeing what other services they do. So if you're in financial education, you need to know all the different blogs, materials and things like that to cater to your niche, right? Because you want to know everything that your ideal client is out there looking and reading for. Once you do, you can start using that marketing and those tools to do that. One of the tools that's really good to kind of do some research is called BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo. Just look it up, but write that down. BuzzSumo is a really good when you're starting off and building and branding a business and you want to start working on your marketing and branding. It's a good area to look for to get some research on. So you can really, look for what your niche is looking for. So, like I said, you want to think on everything that they do. Okay. So when you're particularly doing that, like I said, you want to create this ideal person. And you want to look at what is this person like? What does they do? What are their jobs? Do they work? Stuff like that. Because like I said, when you're throwing branding, especially if you're building something, you want to always kind of pique their interest in ways of what they're dealing with on a daily basis or things that they're reading and things that they're interested in. So, if you have a particular product for, a mom, you may want to look into all these mom blogs, websites, email, like who has a big email list. So that's one area. Another thing is to find a person who has a big influence in this niche what you're doing. So like I said, if you're in real estate, who is the biggest and baddest person out there in real estate? Find them, follow them, get on their email list, read the things that they're, particularly talking about. How are they going out about marketing, their business, their brand? I'm not saying be a copycat, but you definitely want to use these things to look and research and kind of get more ideal. And the reason why I said find your niche is not to put you in a box, because guess what? Once you find your niche, you will find other people to particularly work for you. But once you find your niche and you really work and hone in, you got to hone into your message, then you're able to, it's so much easier to talk to them. Here's the problem that I learned throughout my time of building and building my businesses and also with branding, especially in my fitness training business. Like I said, I shared a little bit about this yesterday. I was branding to everybody. Look, I'm like, tell your mama, your papa, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, anybody who need to move their body, get them on. Tell them I'm here. I can help them all, because I had a lot of modalities. I had a lot of certifications and things like that. And I literally could help anybody, but I had to get very specific of who I wanted to talk to. And guess what? I did get other clients or whatever, but I really had to zone into one thing. And the reason why I thought that and I was resistant to that for a long time, I was just thinking that I'm going to shut off other people to me. But when you once you find, so the stages here's 3 stages. Find your niche, look for, the influence of what that niche is, whoever, if it's a person, an ideal reading or whatever, and then really gear in and talk to that person specifically on that. So once you cover that, like I said, we're building this house. Once you cover that, like I said, it gets a lot easier when you're talking to them. So BuzzSumo, as I said, is a really good tool that you particularly use to do your research, find your niche. What is it that you're working on? And then it's really important to start building, some type of funnel. Okay, and what I mean by funnel, this is online marketing and branding, but some type of funnel is really important because when you, it's kind of like you're getting people through a maze to get to you, especially if you have a service where they work specifically with you. Like if you have a coaching business or, Lord, I can't even talk. I keep sounding like Lord Dutterman. A consult business where you're doing consultations and stuff like that, you want to wheel them through where you're getting them to be intrigued and interested all the way up to that point. So that way your marketing and branding is doing the selling for them. So when I talked about earlier this week for people who said they hate selling, if you touch up on your skills with marketing and branding and getting them through a particular funnel or, things like that with your marketing and branding, these clients are already going through and validating themselves. So then you won't find yourself out there just talking to any and everybody, and you won't be frustrated with people not buying into your business or things like that, because you are pre-qualifying your people when you're doing your marketing and branding. And when you go about it the right way. And like I said, it's levels to it. You continue to learn and do it. So like I said, once you did your research, you have to research, find your niche. What is it that you're doing? Now you want to start building, a funnel or something like that where you continue to get into your client's face and then start sharing your expertise on what you need to do. So you need to be willing to give some free information and education to get them interested. So when I say peak interest is like, people nowadays, like especially with the internet and stuff is out there so easy. Like, look, you got Facebook where you get for free, but guess what? Facebook has nothing but content. Now, Facebook make crazy money because they have a free place, but small business owners, even big businesses, pay them to get their content out there. It was genius. So they was free for a long time and then gave out. So what does that say? You need to be at a point where you're giving your expertise, your knowledge, your product. Even if you have tangible products where you sell, what do? Give samples. People need to get a gist of what it is that you're providing so that they want to buy. Like I said, you never want to just shove it on people's throat. And you want people to get some material. So, if you're sharing anything where you have like a consultation business or anything like that, do some webinars, do some videos, always, you got Facebook Live and stuff like that. Give videos and stuff all the time where you're always in people's face, sharing information, get a blog, email list. You need to start building your list. It's really important you build your list because, especially when you're on these platforms, because in the event that I have a client that she does very well and she has a huge following. And, she just used social media for everything, mostly Instagram. She has a hairline. So she has all these people. But I always ask, I said, if the event that your Instagram shuts down, what are you going to do? Do you have an email list? Do you have something where, people are able to get behind the scenes, get more information, because it's but so much that you can continue to always show? And she said, no. I said, then that's where we need to do to take your business to the next level. Like I said, there's always stages and levels. So once you do that, now, like I said, you put people through your funnel. So when it comes to marketing, branding, sales, and stuff like that, you have to know how your consumer, your client, this is why it's important to know your niche, what they think about, what is it that they look for, and how do they buy? Like, what is it to get them to buy? What is it that, they need? Like I said, with everything being out on the internet and free and stuff like that, people have this what's in it for me like kind of attitude about everything. So it's like if you're coming up, that's why a lot of times with certain things, where people, don't quote me, it just depends on what it is in their service. If they actually have a storefront right in the front and they're passing out flyers and stuff, it's cool, but just your service and stuff, and you're just throwing out people information, your cards, and giving it, and you're not getting any kind of information for them, an email or something, so you can continue to stay in their face and you can continue to keep talking to them and servicing them. Good luck, because I mean, I used to do that. Like, guys, I'm telling you, I used to be walking up and down New York City all the time promoting like one of the products that I used to promote or whatever, just passing out my cards, passing out flyers, giving samples. Never even got never even got anybody's contact or a list or something. You know, you want to give something and they give you a little something. You know what I'm saying? You want to wow them and then get a little something for them. And then, you know, like I said, you don't want to force. But like I said, when it comes to marketing and branding, this is like the stages up until you get to the sale. And when it comes to sales, I've been in sales for some years and I had a lot of training. If you're sitting with a client face to face and doing sales, it was always when I was doing the training on it, you always want to get to the point where, you know, you're having your clients say yes. So if you ever look at like a car, go somewhere where someone's selling you, right? And look at the things that they particularly do. Someone's skillful or whatever. And notice how they keep giving and offering things to make you see yourself in that place. So you want to get to the point where, like, if you notice when you're talking to, you know, salespeople, they're like nodding their head, yeah. Like, you want to get people to start nodding their head, yes, and then you want to get them to say yes. It's a marketing strategy and a sales strategy per se. You know, if you can get them to say yes at least 3 times, they're going to buy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why online you're not sitting and talking to them all the time or anything. So that's why you want to create a funnel to get them to keep weaving themselves through, pre-qualifying themselves, getting them to say yes all through your funnel until they get to talk to you, and you have like a strategy call, a sales call, something like that. And then you just find out if you want to work with them, for one. And then, you know, you get them to say yes and make the deal in the sales. So that's pretty much the base of what the stages is when it comes to marketing and branding. There's so much more. Like I said, if you really want to get out there, you know, look out and go to a lot of different seminars, workshops, and things like that where it comes to sales, marketing, and branding, because this is where a lot of entrepreneurs, especially like, you know, small business owners, where we fail and lack the most at. But a lot of those things is because we don't believe in ourselves. So that's why I say always go back and build that foundation and work on those particular skills, and that way you can, you know, you can and build on that and brand. So and I'm more than willing to work and help with you. You know, definitely feel free to contact me or anything, and we can do a strategy call myself to see, you know, what it is that you know you're looking to expand and build in your business, and be able to grow in that area. You know, I'm able to squeeze in. I'm very, very specific with my who I am looking for some dream clients, you know, and feel because I'm very, very passionate about this, and helping those to be able to build and grow in their business. I'm very close with or anything, but you know, feel free to share this with others. Tune in next week. You know, I'll be going on particulars and talking about that. That was this week's chat. Go back and look at the things I talked about to build the foundation of the common struggles that you struggle with. Or feel free, like I said, to reach out, contact me, and, you know, we can schedule a strategy call where it is where you want to go, where you take the next step. I'm looking for some dream clients to really help for those who are really serious and interested to grow to the next level, who are ready to take that leap and, you know, make the investment into themselves and exceed in their business. It's scary, I know it is, but that's what I'm here for, to help you and hold your hand along the way. But you got to be willing to take the steps in the niche and continue to soar and go up into as you get to success. So I hope this was helpful. As I shared, thanks for tuning in to Thrive Abundantly TV. My name is Lauren L.C. Thriver. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. I know I will. It's my birthday weekend. So feel free, please share this with others. I know this was some great nuggets and help. I hope you were taking notes, but it's on replay, so you can go back and rewind. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Monday. Give me some feedback. Email me. Let me know. My email is My email is thrivewithlc@gmail. So feel free to email me and contact me for anything. And I love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. LC Thriver signing out. Whew. It is